Welcome to the 10 p.m. show. I'm your host today, Uni, and I'm here with my co-host, Jonathan.
Hi, nice to see you guys again.
And we have a guest host today, Wan Yang.
Hi all.
I believe a lot of our audience member, they already know who we are. I mean, me and Jonathan. So, do you mind actually introduce yourself, Wan Yang, because
Yeah.
you're a first timer here?
Yeah, sure thing. My name is Wan Yang. So, actually, first of all, thanks 10 p.m. show for having me in this podcast. So, thank you. Good luck.
Also, I believe people want to know more about you instead of you just saying all this stuff that people like to listen.
Actually, cool. Actually, I'm Eunice and John's friend since our college time back in 2015. So, both of you are my I can say best college mate for my whole diploma career. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a very special guest today, and people might be wondering why are we wearing the Chinese and Malay traditional shirts, traditional costumes. It's because 3 more days later it's Malaysia Day, and today's topic is very related to Malaysia Day. Malaysia is a very special country indeed, and I believe three of us, we love Malaysia a lot, right? So
Yes.
so Malaysia
Boleh
is
lah.
Malaysia is a very culturally diversified country, and because of this problem, we have a lot of issue as well. So first thing first, let's not talk about any negative stuff about Malaysia. Let's talk about the greatest thing about Malaysia. So whenever people hear about Malaysia, what's the greatest thing ever? You guys know?
Food.
Yes, the food.
Food.
Yeah. So basically, like me myself, I really like Malay food. Although I cannot eat like mutton and beef, but when you actually eat Malay foods, it's best enjoyed with hand, right? You just have to going for the rendang, and then you just use your hand and put it in your mouth. Ooh,
Yeah, with your bare hand. Extra tasty.
Extra flavor.
extra
there.
flavor, right? So Jonathan, how about you? What type of Malaysian food do you like?
Actually, all Malaysian food also I like lah. Except for rojak, I don't really like those sweet stuff lah. But one of the things I still remember one of the place I go. Used to be my office there area. There's a warung just in front of my office. So I almost every day go there, and sometimes they serve rabbit there. Oh, they put inside the soup. I tell you, whew, divine. I tell you, divine.
Rabbit.
Very
Do
nice.
you
Yeah,
actually eat
rabbit. What's wrong with that?
It's so cute.
Rabbit tastes very tender. Sweet. The meat very flavorful one.
Rabbit
Because
is
it's red meat.
Rabbit is so cute.
It
So-
doesn't matter lah. You eat pig also. When pig baby also look small, look cute ma. Chicken also look cute ma.
So
You eat it still taste nice ma.
I mean, we both talk about what we like, and then some people might be like, oh, new guy, maybe you want to talk about more, talk more about yourself, and then what type of Malaysian food you really like.
I think about food, right? I think John can really best describe how much I love Mamak's food. So I'm not sure whether John you still remember or not when back to 2015-16 we used to went to the nearby Mamak store nearby our
Yeah.
college. It
Yeah.
was, like every day during the break time.
Yeah, almost every day we go there.
Like, mate, roti canai bawang satu.
Wow.
And you order the bawang with the chili one.
Yeah, bawang with chili and egg wow, tastes nice
Literally like every day.
Is-
Never
Then you
miss.
dip, you take one cut then you put inside the curry wow, you dip around, you twist around, all the curry go inside, you put inside your mouth, wow. Tastes
Yeah,
very
I
nice.
still remember the Tauke still can recognize me.
Now
Orang
I,
again.
a long time don't go there
Yes.
already. A long
Last time I
don't
went
go
to
there.
the nearby shopping mall, then I went to lunch there.
I mean, it's fascinating where actually Malaysian food, especially Mama, can unite everyone, like the whole nation. Like during Olympics or when there's a big event happen and it involves like Malaysian, or the whole nation will be there, just to celebrate and just to watch and just to support our athletes. Like every time when Dato' Lee Chong Wei back then when he was like playing Olympics, every
Yeah.
Malaysian will be there. No matter like Indian, Chinese or Malay, everyone would just be there and cheering for our Dato Lee Chong Wei. But it was good time now because nowadays we can't dine in. So Olympic is always
don't
like
you
at
feel
home.
you miss the days like I don't really support sports I mean I don't really watch it, but I mean when you go there during the time where there's sports football or badminton you sit down, right? Or then everybody starts supporting, right? You also can't help it. You also start watching.
Yeah, it's the atmosphere there.
Yeah, the atmosphere is
Now
there.
still can yeah. Through the social media, actually you can see.
No, but
nowadays.
it's different.
It's
different.
different,
You know,
it's
you
like-
sit
Yeah
in the
lah,
mama,
of course.
you
The
sit in the
atmosphere,
mama.
the atmosphere.
Everyone supporting together. You know, it's damn fun.
Even you are not supporting you.
Yeah, you also watch
you
it,
dining
Yeah.
on a table. Surrounding everyone is like shouting.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you will get carried away.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comment section below what type of Malaysian food you really like, and then because Malaysian have like so many foods, when some people they have preferences, so please tell us in the comment section below. But one thing, Malaysia is like very culturally diversified, and we have good food. We have we have like greatest athletes in Malaysia, but unfortunately Malaysia is ranked the second most racist country in the world, according to some of the sources lah. I'm not too surprised. Are you guys surprised about it?
Well, not really surprised because I mean, sometimes you also can even see in the news But
Yeah. it is.
but the thing is, I think they are worse country than us
Oh, there is definitely, because we are the second we're not the one they were not the first one. So
You're not the worst lah.
speaking about racism, I think we have to speak for ourselves. Where three of us, do we have like any experience about it? So I believe John, you actually had a story about it.
Yeah, well, mine, I don't have many experience about racism but there's one time when I was driving with my dad. I was driving behind a car, and the car in front of me, he was swerving left and right, like he don't know which lane to choose, and he was driving very slowly, so it's like blocking me, it's blocking everyone around. So what I did, I horned him. You know what he did? He stopped the car, he blocked everyone. He came out of the car,
Ooh.
he come right in front of me because I'm the driver Then he told, "Lu Cina, you ingat you apa?
Really?
He shout like that. And he smacked my door, smacked my window. Then he just left. That's all. I mean, I don't know whether is it racist. I mean, basically he's quite racist. Like he say I'm Chinese. Like you think I can do anything I want? Is that guy is the one that do things his way? Anyways, yeah, that's my experience. So far, but the worst experience I experienced in terms of racism but not that much for me. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times when racism happens, it's kind of involved in road rage, which will be our next episode. So stay tuned there. Because like just now before we start our live stream, I think I shared to both of you. I saw a video of a Chinese lady getting threatened by a Malay using helmet. You Cina orang langsi lah, something like that. I mean, it's
Muka macam langsi.
muka macam langsi, right? And then I can relate because back then when I was in Kappa, the time I couldn't drive yet, so Kappa is full of Indians, right? So my mother was driving, and then the Indian, I don't know what happened, they just knocked right into my mother's car, and they get us down from the car. They be like, "Oi, Cina, BXXXX," okay. We have to censor a bit. Cina ba toot. And then
to censor me.
okay, Cina
Yeah,
babi lah,
yeah.
Cina babi lah. And then they will be like, "You jangan ingat you perempuan Cina, saya tak berani belasah kau." It's the time we were very afraid but I mean fortunately someone someone actually came here, came through, and then they solved the problem for us, and nothing violence happened lah. So do you have any story about it, Wan Yang?
Actually, for me, right, I don't really meet a lot of racism situation for me, but I do being racist before, but not that type of like, oh, I racist, but I don't bring it to the action. I just like, oh, it's like I know this guy is a Malay, but I don't really like, oh, I scolding in front of him. Just maybe inside my heart, or I was just like nagging, just like that lah. But actually,
It-
after we get to know each other, our cultures, I don't I think the level of my racist towards them is getting reduced and getting no more
into
already lah.
none lah, into none. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Actually,
none
if you
already.
say like that, also, I also do that, lah. Like I think everyone also do that, lah.
I mean, unconsciously we do that lah.
Like, yeah. That's the
Unconsciously,
thing.
yeah.
I mean,
The understanding.
speaking about that, you carry out a very good point. I think a lot of things actually happen. A lot of racism actually happens is because of stereotype, and we are not able to understand the other's culture. So speaking about this, I actually had another experience before we move on to another topic. I went to a stationery store and I actually saw a Malay. But usually when you look at Malay, we will try to speak Malay, ma. And then the Malay cashier actually spoke English to me, and I was so surprised. The English was so standard. There's no accent at all. So I was like, hey, English called standard cell. She doesn't look happy. I don't know whether it's because I'm actually prejudicing or actually stereotyping her. But
Yeah, I think you are, lah.
I mean,
I mean, like English. If they got learn English, why does it matter if it's Malay, Chinese, or Indian, right?
yeah, that's the thing. We unconsciously sometimes we will be stereotyped and things like that,
Mm.
lah. Right? So,
Mm.
before we move on our next topic, let's look at the comment section. Oh, Lin actually says he liked roti canai. Oh, and Tommy, our loyal fans, he says he liked rendang, satay, roti canai,
Wow,
bak kut
eh,
teh, durian,
already late night
cendol,
already, make me hungry.
Ramly burger, apam balik, putu mayam, ketupat nasi kerabu, biryani, and many more. That's why
Wow, hungry.
in Malaysia we
Hungry,
have so
hungry.
many foods, right? Oh, tempoyak. This is very special when I visited Pahang. Cooked durian with
Tempoyak,
curry.
Pahang.
Oh.
Tempoyak for me, I don't like. It feels weird to me. Durian with curry.
It's the sweetness and the saltiness and the spiciness, so it's a bit savory, but it's not.
I feel a bit girly for me.
Yeah. But yeah, one thing, Malaysian we are so. I mean, we have a lot of good food and stuff. But there's one thing. I believe when racism happens, it's because first of all the culture thing, and second thing is actually we are more comfortable mixing with our own races. I mean, probably everyone in our audience member, they also feel that way. So like a lot of things we actually prefer to do with our own races. I believe Wan Yang, you actually have a story about it.
Yeah. Actually, besides of the stationery story that you made, actually there's a fake that we actually at the when we at the real life we feels like when we wanted to buy something, maybe like a laptop or a car, we will feels like we will find the person that has the same color scheme with us, like saya as a Chinese, so I will automatically find the Chinese salesman.
But is that true or not? Is it because you go and find the person the same color, or is it because you think that he can speak your language easier, so it's easier for you to
Yes,
communicate?
first of all, I would think yes, the person will speak my language. But if I have a Malay friends who also selling car, then I also will go for him.
I think most of the time because we prefer people who understand our culture. So let's say when I buy car, I want someone to understand what's my thought process, what do I want, what do I like, and how much can you actually charge me. And because that we understand each other's culture and language so much, the deal is easily been sealed. So I think that's one of the problem now.
I add up
And-
some point. So for
Okay.
for some of the Malay customers, right, there were things like, oh, maybe Chinese, they were trying to earn them.
To scam you, yeah.
Yes,
Not scam. How to say? Wherever got lobang, they masuk lah.
Like
Get
the free
untung
gift
lebih
they give you, or the discount
something like
things,
that.
maybe won't give you the max discount.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true lah, because a lot of people they when they see when they look at Chinese like us, they think we are greedy. But
Yes, greedy.
It's the
I
stereotype.
can say lah. It's not a stereotype. It's true lah.
Oh, but most of the time, because I think three of us we are in sales line. I believe it's sales line. But sometimes there's something that we really cannot do. That's the cheapest we can go. But people say, oh, you orang Cina, you nak scam aku, or you nak untung wang aku. So that's
Yes,
it's
correct.
very sad lah. And because of this, I actually know about a story. I think 2 years back or last year, when Segelinte, which a group of Malays, they find out that one of the kurma, kurma when they actually like to eat during Hari Raya or Puasa,
Dates.
it's made dates. It's actually made by Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fine when they actually boycott the Israeli products, but when they find out it's made by Chinese, they have like Facebook post, Facebook page about it, and then they just say, "Oh, boycott product China, boycott things like that." It's sad lah. I don't know why, but they tend to boycott products that are not made from their own races. So I don't know what is the reason behind it. So I believe there's one of the reason lah, because Malaysian, we are so used to stereotyping and prejudice, right?
Mm.
I think speaking about stereotype and prejudice, right? There's one thing we have to talk about, and I think everyone also complain about it. It's basically employment in Malaysia. In Malaysia, you can often see a lot of companies, they prefer. I do not know whether is it because Chinese own more businesses compared to the other races, but whenever employment comes in, you can always see Chinese speaker preferably, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
yes.
true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, and especially you can see sometimes. I mean, if you walk around the city, you can see sometimes you can see the poster in front of you.
Yeah, can
They
see.
asking for job. Then they put right at the bottom there, preferably Mandarin speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a
Even-
banana,
Mhm.
right? So previously,
Yeah.
when you actually go for interviews and stuff, do you actually meet this kind of problem?
Well, actually, I got once apply for a job, which they state there Mandarin speakers are encouraged to apply. They put there over there, but lah, I can speak Mandarin, but
Mhm.
in a office environment, I rather not lah. Later will come up misunderstanding or what. Suddenly you talk, you get stuck or something, or people tell you in Mandarin you don't really understand. So yeah, but anyways, I still applied. I went for the interview, and surprisingly, the interview is handled in English. It's not the best English, but everything is in English. They asked me in English. Everything is in English.
Comprehensible
So I
lah.
was what? Yeah. So once done already, I asked the HR lor. I asked the HR. I thought you prefer Mandarin speaker or something. Then they say, actually, it's not really matter, but it doesn't really matter. But because the office, majority of the office, they speak Mandarin, and so it's preferably they speak to hire a person that can speak Mandarin lah. So that's how they explain to me lah. So yeah.
I believe most of the time, even actually when they actually do not need Mandarin speaker, but everyone is so used to mixing with their own races, so they actually prefer people who are with their own races. So when they actually go for employment or whatever, they always want people with the same races or the same skin color. So yeah, I mean, it's quite sad lah. Not even employment or office culture can actually settle all these things, right? I mean, there's another thing that everyone knows is always like when you go and buy property or actually renting property, something is always there, right?
Yes, correct. Actually, not only the office culture or even during the interview, another fact that you can see is through the when we finding the property rental, or even you can browse the Airbnb website, you can see some of them are listed with some specific requirement, like what prefer Chinese, or even prefer ladies only, no foreigners. Yeah.
What?
So
Why is it like
So-
that?
we're not sure, but we can see that most of the cases that come up from the news saying that, maybe usually Malays they don't pay rent, or even Indian. If you face the Indian renter, they will destroy your house, your property.
Mm.
So I think this is the causes what makes them, or when they try to advertise or list with their property or Airbnb, they will like specifically list down the requirement. No Malays, no Indians.
Yeah, I feel this is a very one of one of the worst cases of prejudice lah.
Yeah.
It's not
Because
entirely true, right?
what
It's not
do you
enti-
mean?
I mean that all these Malay they don't pay you rent, or Indians they actually destroy your house. I don't think it's entirely true.
What does race has got to do with it?
Yeah, that's why
I
I was
mean,
wondering.
basically you have money you can pay ma.
Yeah lah.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter ma.
Mhm.
In terms of Malay don't pay rent,
Mhm.
takkan if Chinese got no money can pay rent meh?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a
yes,
hard
yes.
fact, you know.
Chinese
All of them.
if you're Chinese, everyone got money lah.
Mhm.
I know money please give me some If
I mean-
audience give me some
Our show we don't have too much money to operate, so sponsor.
So yeah, I think it's one of the worst prejudice you can see lah. Very very common lah, and how to say, nobody really like care or something like that, because this type of thing it shouldn't allow to happen lah.
Hey,
Yes,
one interesting fact, you know, I actually came across a Indian property owner previously. I talked to in Indian property agent. They say actually if I have property right now, I will rent to Indian as well. Why is that Do you know actually? Do you know
Oh,
there's a
to
reason?
me, I feel this is like quite sensitive lah. But
Mhm.
there is one hidden culture system within the Indian community that still exists until now.
Mhm.
So this is one of the things that would like to talk about. It is the Indian caste system, which originate actually, if you can think back your long time ago, where you still learning Form 5 history,
Yeah.
or Form 4. I also can't remember which history year was it. But anyways, they taught you the caste system in the ancient history section, where they talk about the history of Indian empire. So it was a caste system. So basically, this caste system is how they rank their society. There's a pyramid, and they have the highest to the lowest. So it starts with the highest. The highest they have the society people called the Brahmins. And moving on, the second layer is the Kshatriyas.
yes.
The third layer, I think it's called the Sudra. I can't really remember. And then there's also a few more layers, and then the last layer, which is actually not inside the pyramid, is not within the pyramid system, and is categorized outside of the system. And these are, how to say, they are neglected people lah. They are called, I think the safest word to call them is outcasts.
No,
I don't know what they are called.
It's actually, I think their terms of it about it is actually curling, if I'm not mistaken.
I
It's very
really don't know. I
offending
cannot
word lah.
confirm. I cannot confirm what they are called. But still, it means there's a class of people. Everyone there's high class people, there's low class people, there's even even people that has no class at all.
I
So
believe it's somehow actually
do like that.
related to their occupation back then, like priest, landlord, and businessman, and something like that, right? Was it?
yeah, but the thing is now, I mean, we do not have to talk about the history. But the thing is now, they brought this back to the current generation, which is saddening to hear, because I mean, if you compare to the last time, they say each of the class ranking have their own task to do have their own job specific job lah. But now I don't see much anymore. Do you see? I don't think so. But the thing is, if you're an Indian family, and maybe one of the things, if you want to converse with another Indian family, for example, if you're in the second class,
Mm-hmm.
then the other family is in third class. Then maybe one of the children wants to get married with the other class, but the second class family they reject because they are of different class and lower class. So that's one thing that's very saddening, which I hear, and it is up to the point where sometimes the parents if you say if you want to continue with the marriage, you are no longer within this family. You are out of the family. It means they also become they are kicked out of the family. So both of them kicked out of the family. I know it's even worse in India, but the thing is prevalent in Malaysia, which is very saddening. Don't you think so?
I believe maybe it's because it's I don't think it may be it's not something to deal with maybe in Malaysia it's not something that to do with your skin color or whatever. It's always the the thoughts and people always looking down on you because of your status level or because of your skin tone or whatever it is lah. Because even in Indian caste system they believe the fairer you are the better you are. So I believe this is something to do in Malaysian system as well. Something like that is somehow relatable. So let's look at the comment section before we move on to the next topic. Halal. No, actually, that particular kurma brand is actually halal. So I was wondering why are they boycotting that them?
Well, of course it's halal lah. Kurma or dates is where got any animal product inside?
I'm not too sure about it because it's Chinese,
It should.
so got ginseng
Never,
inside.
you never eat before
I ate before.
kurma. Kurma tastes a little bit like chocolate, especially high quality one.
Yeah, I mean next comment. Business employment depend greatly on the target customer. We can't deny everyone have their own preference. It's the past experience that shape now people's perception. Yeah lah, I believe it somehow actually since back then when like the whole business getting structured in a way where Chinese is with Chinese, Malay is with Malay, Indian with Indian, and in the end of the day, until today, we still have the traditional thought.
Yeah. I think speaking of that, I want to add on, right?
Mm.
Let's just say all the house owners the house owners are the one that put the category preferably Chinese or preferably whatever race. One of the things that I can say is that if I support them because it's their property it's their property to choose whether it's their right to do it but the thing is like why do they do this type of thing? Why do they put that criteria? If you want to rent a place, you got the money, good enough, right? Don't you think so?
I believe it's being defensive in a way, where I don't want people to invade me or destroy my things. Maybe that's one of the reason. So before we move on to the next topic, last question. Previously, I got one Chinese tenant. They don't pay rent. On the other hand, my Indonesian tenant pay properly. So not all Chinese show good value. This apply to other races too. This is what we actually discussed about. We don't believe that because of races things happen. It's totally based on individual. Do you guys agree with this?
Yeah. But I think a lot of people they take the simple route So that's why this type of prejudice happen.
Just judge.
Yeah, they just judge.
So let's continue to our previous topic, which we talk about. Maybe Malaysian racism happens not because of skin color. It's maybe because of ranking. This is something that actually got me thinking. In any way, we actually when we go for application for anything, like when you have to fill up any form or whatever it is, you can always see four categories: Malay slash Bumi Putra, Chinese, Indian, dan lain-lain. I mean, what's the point of it actually? And is it because of the population? So, okay, first thing first, I'm actually wondering why do you have to categorize categorize us as our race with our races. The second thing is why it's always Malay, Chinese, Indian dan lain-lain. Is it because of our population? And what's your thought in the comment section? So if you have any thoughts about this, please leave your comment in the comment section. And I don't know whether is it because of population or actually based on political rankings or whatever. I'm not too sure about it.
Well, one of the things is that I also really don't understand why do you have to put the ethnicity in a form.
Yeah,
For example,
even
if you want
even
to
our religion,
apply, yeah,
Yes.
even if you apply a bank account, why do they need to know that? Does it I really cannot relate that information to anything. Okay lah, let's say lah, for security purposes lah.
Mhm.
That's the only thing that I can think of. Security purposes. If the person that's applying for a bank account is a criminal, then maybe they can identify lah. I think that's the only thing. That's the only thing that I can figure out. To me, you can remove that part entirely, ethnicity and religion, put inside the form. You can just remove it entirely because preferably, right, it's easier to just identify all of us as just Malaysian,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I actually do agree with this also because it's
Mm.
like either when we fill out form, it's better than Malaysians and non-Malaysian, as in for foreigners. But I do not understand why do they actually have to write. Why do we have to actually have
Divide
to
to
write?
three.
Yeah, write down our
Yes.
religion, and divide into
Mm.
actually not three, more than that, three, four,
Mm.
five, six, whatever it is. But because they actually categorize as them as dan lain lain.
Yeah.
So do they actually don't count as a race, or do they actually don't count as
I think one of the
Malaysian?
things, yeah, is population lah. Don't you think so?
Yeah,
And some more,
population.
how to say, one of the thing is, yeah, it's always MCI, right? Malay, Chinese, Indian, then
Yeah.
the line. It's always like that. I don't know why. But anyways, one of the things also,
Hmm.
the Dan line area is to simplify matters because one of the things is that Sabah and Sarawak has a lot of ethnicity, right?
Kadazan,
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Iban,
Yeah, there's
Dayak.
a lot.
Betul, betul, betul,
There's
betul.
a lot. I think there's hundred plus lah. I cannot remember, but pendidikan civic last time got learn lah. But this one all basically I throw out all this information out already lah. But yeah, it's somewhat in the 100 plus number that there's about the amount of ethnicity there. So, but the thing is, we don't really need to put that criteria
Yeah,
inside
in that
if
section,
you
yeah.
apply in the form.
So
Yeah.
actually, why does that happen? I mean, do you have any idea of it about it, Wan Yang?
Actually, I'm not 100% to confirm whether why others classify as Malay, Chinese, Indian, but I think it's because when back to 1960s when we like Mereka, uh,
Mm-hmm.
we know that the Malays they have the largest population.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are Malays. So even you can see from our cabinet, like 80% of them, the ministry, they are from
Ministers.
they're Malays.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this the reason why the Malay will be at the first place. Then for the Chinese, I think when during at the old times, they most of the Chinese they are involved in the major demand sectors and also other business industry.
Mm-hmm.
So at the same time, they also dominant our country economy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And followed by the Indians. I think Indians they mostly they are contributing our nation as a estate workers. So and that's why maybe they are ranked
That way
after
lah.
Chinese lah. But actually, you can see from nowadays, right? Nowadays, the ranking of races mostly, I think, like diversified because of politics. For example, like
Mm-hmm.
our Pilihan Raya.
Mm.
Actually, during the Pilihan Raya, you can see most of our politicians when they come out and give the talks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the politicians I don't want to mention, their talks will be slightly more we call ganas. Will be
Fierce.
the content. Yes, the content that they say will slightly like will offending the other races or like well we Malay have to like be bersatu,
Mm.
something
Oh.
like that.
I think yeah, I do agree. Actually, I feel it also can relate to the previous one. Like
Mm-hmm.
because if you apply all the forms, Malay, Chinese, Indian,
Mm-hmm.
then the line. It feels like we are being ranked in in society. Don't you feel that?
Um, it's okay. First thing first is being ranked, and second thing is definitely division. Because every time,
Yeah.
I actually do agree with Wan Yang's point because when every time it comes to politics, no matter what type of politic it is, because of the political ideology different parties has, different parties have, they whenever they make a memorandum, they always try to favor their own races. To be honest, they spread propaganda or whatever it is unconsciously. I don't know whether it's consciously or unconsciously, but because whenever they say something, let's say, when they state something in a memorandum, okay, ini hak orang Melayu, or I'm going to approve the Chinese study UEC. UEC is actually unified.
What is UEC?
Unified examination certificate, something from the Chinese private school.
Is it like
SPM.
SPM,
Yes, SPM.
SPM Chinese version
But it's
the
actually
private Chinese
everything in Mandarin. Until today, they actually didn't approve it yet.
Yeah, they don't recognize it.
So every time when general election comes on, and when they make memorandum, they always try to state that as loud as possible, especially definitely the Chinese political party lah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end of the day, they made all this promise and they didn't fulfill it, and then it somehow unconsciously divide the nation, because it's like, oh, this party they bela hak orang Melayu, this party they bela the hak of Chinese. Bela as in they stand for the they stand for the ground, they stand for Chinese, they stand for Malay, and they stand for Indian.
Is it like you're saying like one party, or they only support one race, and then the other party support only one race,
And then
something like that.
something like that. That's why until like UMNO, MCA, MIC, there's a reason why they have this MCA, Malaysian Chinese something MIC, Malaysian Indian Congress. Everything is already divided that way.
But in the end, like how to say, if you vote for them, in the end, anything don't get fulfilled. So whatever they promise before you vote for them, after you vote for them, nothing comes out.
I mean,
right?
the other thing is they write on religion to abuse their political power, and then they don't promise anything. I mean, they promise everything and didn't fulfill it.
Yeah. So like how to say, I think is we don't have to find like how it happened or why it happened. It's already done already. I mean, it's been ongoing since before we were born, right? Since our previous generation, don't know how many generations are along already. So I think, and some more, the thing is that we talk about this, we do not have much proof or any evidence at all. Or maybe you have lah, I do not know. But still, I think best not to continue talk about this. Why not we try to find how to solve it, right? Since we are the young people, young generation of this country, to me, I feel we are the future lah. We are the future. So, as we are all the young people, will we think the same way that all of us want unity, all of us want to improve together to be the leaders of the country?
I partially agree with John. What John says. Yeah, our nation, we do need more and more the young people come and involved in our politics. But one thing that I wanted to clarify that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the age or whether the guy. Yes, we do want the young guy, but not because of his age. He's young. We want them to how to say? If the young guy he have the incorrect ability or mindset, I don't think it will change. Right. So if the young guy or also like corrupted or don't have the ability to lead our nation or even will bring our nation to the worst
case scenario.
What for? I think it will only bring our country to the worst situation, worst scenario. So
I agree, right? It doesn't matter, right?
Yes,
young or old, as long as the right mindset.
Yeah, if the person 60 already or 70s, as long as he has the ability or have the correct mindset that Malaysians want, it's fine. It's okay. We can let them lead, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true, right? Like you say, how to say, if the young person wow, he act tall, he walk tall, then he blagak right in front and say, oh, I can help you do everything. Then after that, you first you trust him, and then come out the same story, right?
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
doesn't matter. Yeah, I agree. It's not about the age, it's about the mindset lah. Mindset of the politician.
I mean, in the end of the day, we actually need someone with a great, correct mindset to actually lead the country, lah. Nevertheless, so let's scroll to comment section before we entering another topic. Okay. Demographic is important for business to analyze their customers, same to government and politics too. As example, if the government or the business want to send target message, the right people can be reached. In these days, this can be done through AI, but official application is still require details information. If you think more in depth, we have to fill up if we are male or female. We can't term this as discriminate to any gender, right? So what if a transgender have to fill up this form? Will it become a discrimination? How do I put this? I think in gender, maybe it is for the government or anybody to identify who you are and who, I mean, how do we address you, madam or sir or tuan or whatever it is. But when it comes to religion, yes, because in a lot of situation, even government side, the reason why they actually want you to fill up like Malay or Chinese or Indian, because they have they are able to target you separately in a way, right?
in purpose lah.
Okay. If like that, right? To me, I think in terms of if they want to use it for marketing purposes, right? Then it should not be compulsory,
What do
right?
you mean?
Because if you apply, like the same example I'm going to use, you apply for a bank account, then for example, they want to use those type of information to send you marketing info that is more suited to your needs. Then that is not what you ask for when you apply for a bank account, ma. That is the bank going to send you some advertising, ma. Which it should be optional. They cannot force you to do that. I apply for bank account, I get advertisement instead. Is that right? No, it's just an added benefit, and it's a benefit to the organization that asked for it. So to me, I feel those type of things is optional. Okay lah, you can put it there, but then you should put there. Maybe is you do not have to apply. Do not have to write down. But the thing is, you apply for bank account, you must put it there. That's the thing.
No, I think
That's the part.
I have a greater option for this, because there's a reason why if it involves in bank or investment or something with cash or something with will writing, you can state you are Muslim or non-Muslim. I think that's fine, because it's religion.
Yeah.
There's a reason why
Yeah.
you have to state you are Muslim, because Muslim has something that is called Sharia. Everything has to be Sharia compliance.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. You only put it there if it's compulsory for the things that you need to use it for, right? If like your example is true. If they need to do it in law, in terms of law, for Muslims they follow the Sharia law. So they need to identify you whether you are Muslim or not, no? So I agree that point is true. But in terms of almost every application, need or no need, also you have to put down your race and religion. That's the thing.
Yes.
So I mean, we have a very good questions here. I mean, thanks for the sharing.
Thank you.
And recently, I believe most of the time when one races they think they are superior than the other, something will happen. So like last year, was it last year or this year? This year, one of the Chinese boss, in somewhere in Selangor, he beats up his bodyguard, which are two bodyguards which are Muslims, for for fasting. And the reason why is because he says, I pay for your salary, I'm your God, so you should listen to me. Your God doesn't feed you. This is a total wrong method. I mean, this is a total wrong mindset, which involves discrimination. Right.
The worst part is that his other bodyguards got pistol, I think, pointed a pistol at his head, ma.
To force the fella to
Is
eat.
it? Oh, really?
Not to force the fella to eat lah, but they were like basically they were just fighting about it. And then how to fight if got gun right in front of your head? Imagine lah, if got one pistol in front of your head, I think you're shivering also, right?
Yeah lah. That's one of the
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of times when it comes to discrimination or whatever it is, or any problem, Malaysians tend to use violence. I mean, look at the police brutality that really that happens recently. It's totally unfair towards the Indian races. Why?
Yeah. Well, I know that because I have Indian friends also, and they tell me this story. To me, what they tell that Indians face more discrimination by police. I actually, before he told me, I really didn't know that. And when he told me, I feel very shocked because for me every time that I deal with police for me it's always a good experience. Never had the point where to be honest I've never actually met a police that asked for bribe for me.
I do
From
though.
my side only. You do lah. But for me no. So I never had that perspective, until my Indian friend told me that they always kena by police. So his story is that he went out and go and drinking. This was long time ago, very long time
Chinese and
ago.
Indians always get drunk, right?
That one I don't know. Another stereotype. Apa you talking about stereotype? Then you stereotype people. But anyways, Indian, they are all Indian friends So they all went out, have fun, and they drink They drink a lot. They drink a lot. They went with one car, like I think 4 or 5 people. So they went with one car. They drink. After they drink already, they wanted to go back. Drunk, but they are too drunk. They cannot drive. Okay, I'm not covering anybody. He really tried to drive, but he cannot drive, so he went and sleep inside the car. So suddenly, they all of them are asleep lah. Then suddenly they heard a knock on the door, and then the door was open, and then
Was it locked?
it's an old car. It's a Proton Vira. All those old car. The lock all not working already ma.
Oh.
So the door was they open, they knock on the window and then they open the door. Where can like that? I mean, you must wait for the person to respond, right, or something like that. At least be more. Don't be so aggressive lah. But anyways, they open the door and they shout at them. Kau buat apa? What are you doing here? They shout at them and then they drag them out. They really drag them out. They took them by their arm. They drag them out. So every one of them drunk Then they ask the police, the way that they question they say they suspect them for a robber. Then
What?
yeah, they like thief lah.
Is it because of
they-
the skin color or what is? I mean, what's
I
the reason
don't know.
behind it?
But seriously, my friend kena this before, and then tak pasal they send them to lock up to jail. Overnight jail. They went to jail, and then so they had to call their parents. Call their parents, bring them back. But seriously, for no reason, they gonna throw into jail. That's the thing. I'm very shocked to hear this sort of thing.
I mean, I don't know what's the reason behind, and because we are not in the police force, so we cannot make any assumption. But whenever anything happens, it's always targeted towards our Indian friends. I don't know whether is it because the police or the law enforcer, they think they're far more superior than these people. Because like as we take America as example, recently the George Floyd story.
Yeah.
He was he got pressed down onto the neck. I mean, until he actually passed away because he doesn't have oxygen.
Yeah, the pressure block his airway, right?
Yeah. So I do not understand why, not even in Malaysia but worldwide, when something happens towards the darker skin color people, it's always something related to police or law enforcer. I mean, I'm not making any assumption, but I really wish things like this wouldn't happen again, right? And
Yeah.
there's one thing, it's always the Indian. Why does it have to be like that? I don't understand. I mean,
Actually,
yeah.
actually, not only the Chinese bosses cases and also the brutality from the police.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the most important causes is because of the education, especially from the Chinese family.
Why?
So me as a
Chinese family, yeah.
yeah, me as a Chinese kid, when I recall when I was a child,
Mm-hmm.
because my family is 100% fully pure Chinese, those traditional parents. We was taught like I was naughty at the time,
Uh-huh.
so my parents were like were telling at me, if you ever be naughty again,
Uh-huh.
I will call Apu Nenek to catch you.
What? Apa nenek? Sorry to laugh
So,
at it, but yeah.
so when I was down, I was thinking like, oh, so if I be naughty again, I will be catched by Apu Nenek. So yeah, Apu Nenek equals to Indian. So if I naughty, I will get catched by the Indian.
Mm.
And also not only the Apu Nenek things, also our parents used to spread us to say, like Wan Yang, if you ever wanted to survive in Malaysia or you want to be success, you need to be work harder.
Hmm?
To be work harder for what? To win the Malays. That's what our parents are not all lah. But for me, yes, my Chinese parents they will say like, oh, Yang, you have to be work harder to win the Malays, which I think by now lah, because now I grow already ma. So but I think this is a very wrong action. It's a very wrong message
Mindset.
that my parents deliver to me.
That's really true lah. I mean, education since you are young, sometimes some people, if they learn this, I mean, it will get stuck in their head,
Yeah.
right? But then also there's also this one thing. To
Mhm.
me, I feel maybe it's a bit controversial to talk about it because one of the things is that you can see that you can see an advertisement very clear actually,
Mm.
but nobody really bats an eye. Nobody really see it properly
Mhm.
because one of the things you see is the skincare products on advertisement.
Oh yeah,
You
like
look
the
at it.
fairer you are,
That's
and
correct.
then the better you are, the darker you are, and the
Yes,
more evil
yes.
you are. That's why they have this skincare product to.
The most prominent one is that you can see sometimes you can see that this advertisement they will put some sort of computer graphic. You can see the skin suddenly turn
Two skin, yeah,
fairer.
two skin
So
tone.
this type of thing, like, does it mean that you are fair? It means you're pretty. Does it mean that you're fair? You are clean. Does it mean that you are fair? You are of a higher status. Is that what they're trying to say? And that by using this type of skincare product, you will also achieve this type of thing. Is that what the message they're trying to say? So that's why I feel it's very controversial because not many people really talk about it. But I notice this when I see this type of video. I feel like it is offensive lah.
I
Don't you
mean,
think so?
even
Yes,
if
yes.
even if in India, the fairer you are, the more successful you are. That's why in Bollywood, everyone is just very fair, very white.
Mm.
I mean, I don't get where the mindset from, because this is totally wrong, and it's a very wrong education system. But before I proceed, I would like to address that the word "apu nene" actually is I would believe is a racial slur, uh, used to call the Indians, from Chinese lah, for those who didn't understand, and like even though because I'm Chinese as well, I use a lot of elderly. They always say like, "Oh, you have to work harder to win the Malay." This is totally wrong. I mean, everyone should work hard in their own way. It's not like you have to work hard to beat the other races. What's the point?
Yes.
You are trying to rank yourself in a way that, oh, my race is better than yours, but we are all Malaysians, right? And I don't think it's only parents' education system. I don't think school teaches all this. School's education system is actually quite fine, but it's also the society education system. Because like when you go out and work, or when you growing up and then you meet all these elderly, they always say, oh, we are Chinese, we should protect ourselves, and Malay is the evil, Indian is the evil. There's no point about it, you know. And then speaking about Apu Nene, do you know
Yeah.
any other racial slur, John?
There's a lot lah. There's a lot. I cannot start where is the start of the racial slur and where's the ending lah. But seriously, there's a lot. I mean, one of the things that I hear very often online right now they like to use the term Malays to Malay. Well,
How do
actually,
you spell it
how to
actually?
say? It's actually MELEIS.
Oh.
So it's like a, how to say to me, I feel it's like an insult to the Malays I
a
really
teasing
not.
way
I
lah.
huh?
Is it a teasing way?
I don't. I'm not really sure. But to me, I feel it's used as to be offensive lah. To be offensive. Don't you feel so? Because it's like you're saying, oh, this fella what do like that. Yeah, Malays lah. The way that they say is like that, you know. So it's kind of insulting, don't you think so?
But it's always on memes. Like Melayu tak dapat VPN, Malays. I'm triggered, something like that.
I mean, if you make the meme, it still can be racist, right? Doesn't mean that it's a meme, it's not racist, man.
But Malays, I don't
Sometimes
think it's a
jokes-
racial slur, you know.
Yeah,
Because I
it's
actually
up for
went to
debate.
research, because there's no history about it. I mean, it's not like something like the N word, because N word actually has like history about it, and Malays, the word MELEIS has no history about it. So yes, it's up to debate, and things like Cina babi, mata sepek. Yeah, I mean, three of us has kind of small eyes. Yeah, I think so. We are deserved lah to be
To
called
me,
mata
I
sepek.
don't really mind if someone calls me any name lah, in terms of race lah. But I mean, if someone, how to say Wan Yang, do you think?
Actually, if for my point of views, right, if
Mhm.
you calling someone like your Malay friend, you call them like Malays, before that you already know the guy, the Malay friend, the Malay guys are the Malay friends, is already your friend, and you know him very well, so you know he can take this as a joke, so it's okay lah. So what if you telling this to the person like another Malay people that you don't really well know about him?
Mhm.
I think not really suitable for them. I mean, us to say this so easily lah.
It may be uncomfortable, right? It will be
Yes,
uncomfortable
correct.
to them. Yeah.
So if you know someone cannot take it, especially the person that you don't know, I think you better don't say lah. Yeah.
Yeah. The simplest thing lah. I mean, if you have friends that can do it, that you can say to, and you have people that you can't say to. I mean, the simplest solution is just don't say it lah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You offend people for what reason, right?
I mean, we're here to make friends, make peace, not hate. So there's the other thing. I mean, other than racial slur, there's one thing. It's like racism actions. I do know whether this can be categorized or as racism or just simply misunderstanding. There's one thing I would like to address before we move on to the comment section, which is the beef versus pork story. Okay, for those who do not understand, here's the story. Because back then when I actually go for burger store, I'm a Chinese and not every Chinese can eat beef, but I can't eat beef. I accidentally the burger shop actually accidentally served me a beef pork, which when I eat it, I can definitely feel the difference. So I was a bit angry because I actually ordered chicken, and they actually apologized to me. But this is the peaceful scenario, because there's situation where when there's a maybe party or event or whatever it is, or some kind of function, when the menu served pork, but maybe certain tables has like halal food, it could be a mess. Or it could be a mess because in Malaysia, I believe most of the places actually serve beef, which our
Yeah.
Indian friends they can't eat it. Example, McDonald's. If today McDonald's serve pork burger, what would happen?
Gonna boycott lah.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, do you believe that this should be an issue?
I I really don't not really sure lor.
I mean,
Because to
yes.
me I don't really mind. To me I
Mm,
don't really mind lah.
mm,
I just eat wherever I want. But I don't know about the Muslims. Because for me, in terms of Chinese or the Buddhist religion, right?
mm-hmm.
If you pray this particular goddess, which is the
Guan Yin,
goddess of
Guan Yin
what's
Ma,
it in English?
Guan Yin.
Is Kuan Yin lah, but in English is goddess of mercy, mercy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are aligned to her, uh, she she do not eat beef also. So we as the followers, we also don't eat beef. So it's also considered halal for us, right?
Mm, mm, mm.
But we do not have that enforcement, whereas Muslims have it. And even in for Indians also they cannot eat beef.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
mean majority lah. Those who preach Hinduism, they also cannot eat. So they cannot eat, but they also don't mind can go McDonald's mah. But
Mm, mm, mm.
why is like that? I also not really sure. I really not
I
really sure.
believe one thing is because Malaysia is actually a Muslim country,
Mm.
but
It's not a Muslim country. We are just
our
we are
official religion is
Muslim.
Muslim.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know whether is it because of like that, but why do you have to make a mess out of it? Which is up to debate. So if you guys have any opinion about it, please leave in the comment section because this is something we simply couldn't understand lah.
Mm.
So I believe also uh sorry. Just look at the comment section before I move on. That's why I was like, something is wrong. I remember my primary teacher once told me that I will confirm get discriminated against by Malay if I don't learn Bahasa Malaysia properly. What is your thought, Wan Yang?
I used to be when I was primary school, I know my BM was very bad lah, but my primary teacher didn't tell me this kind of message. Depends I think.
Yeah, but I think most of the time because which can link to our first episode. When you live in Malaysia, you don't speak Malay, or when you as a
this area.
Chinese, you don't speak Mandarin. Something will definitely happen. I don't think it only works on Bahasa Malaysia, but every other languages out there lah. Okay, so we come back to our topic because we can't avoid all this, right? It always happen. It's everywhere. I mean, maybe that we are aware of or we are unaware of. I mean, either we are being racist or we are getting racist at, right? So how should we actually deal with these situations?
Well, one thing, as you mentioned, racism is just everywhere lah. You can't avoid it lah. There's so many people in the world. There's many different perspectives. So I think to me lah, there's no benefit to fight with total equality, right? As long we can go for a balance between all the races.
What is the balance you're talking about here?
One of the things is that people like to mention about tolerate. I don't think you should say the word tolerate, or you should tolerate another race. It's not tolerating.
It's living
Everyone
with each
must,
others.
it's living in harmony. You want everyone to be living in harmony. Like, of course, we have different perspective. Each race may have different perspective a little bit, but we do not need to tolerate a different perspective, ma. We do not need to tolerate. We can understand. We can try to understand, like why they think this way, and why this race think this way, why the other race think that way, right?
Do you agree with this
And then-
point, Wan Yang?
I do agree, but from my point of view, I think that like we as a Malaysian, we live in Malaysia's country. I think that we couldn't avoid this topic So we can't avoid. So we just learn lah, belajar lah. Most importantly is what? We get to know each other's cultures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like for example, Malays, they don't like the other races classify or call them as a lazy races, malas. We also the same. We Chinese, we don't like our Malay friends to call us as pendatang or even Cina B.
babi.
Yeah, or even call us the balik tongsang also gone lah. Yeah. The do and don'ts. Get to know each other, do and don'ts. Actually, I can share one of the my life experience because I do the online baby clothing in Shopee. So most of my customer, they actually like 80% they are Malay based. So all the mummies. So every time when they inquire about the shirts or even the size chart, the first thing I will say like Assalamualaikum to them, even Alhamdulillah to them, to show that more, how to say,
More friendly
more
lah.
nearer to them,
More
more
friendly,
friendly
I
to
think
them.
you say.
Yeah, actually they do. They surprised. They're like, wondering, how come a Chinese Tauke they get to know these terms?
Yeah.
Kenapa awak tahu terms ini? Oh, baiklah sangat ni. They were like
Very
praising.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very happy with this.
I mean, I thought they actually don't like non-Muslim to use the terms. I'm not too sure, because some of them they're okay with it, but some of them they're actually not. What do you
Yes,
think?
actually not really. Yeah, some of them they will think, oh, this terms is only applicable or only can be used by the Muslims. But another story that I can share is recall me last year when I applied the Unified the Wi-Fi installation.
Unify.
Yeah.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, the Unified installer was a Muslim. So the first thing I also did the same lah, doing the same Assalamualaikum with the abang, and during the process I don't know what happened and I unconsciously speak Alhamdulillah, like Alhamdulillah sudah siap lah, something like that. Also the first reaction was like, oh, surprise. I still remember the first sentence he tells me, awak Muslim ke? So I was like, oh no, bukan, saya bukan Muslim lah. But I learned all these terms from my PLKN friends because I come up from the PLKN.
But I think I mean sorry to stop you, but I think I heard before that certain Muslims they do not like non-Muslim to use this type of terms.
Yeah.
Because do you think like, is it like reserved for Muslims to use this Arabic term? I think it's Arabic, right?
Yeah, Arabic term, but some of them, they actually kind of accept lah, like
They're fine with it lah. Some of them are fine with it.
Maybe
more
so.
friendly
Because Wan Yang talked about all this experience. For me, I've never spoken that way before lah, so I do not know. But the way that you use, and I think to me it looks like they actually appreciate the way you use it, right?
Yeah, I think so because I learned this from my PRK Malay friends. So I agak
They're fine with it lah.
They're fine with it. And
I mean, yeah, I actually agree. PLKN is one of the greatest way to actually unify each other, because I was in PLKN also. I got pangkat. Pangkat means position. Because initially when I was there, I think everyone hates
Pangkat
me.
Pangkat apa?
What is that called? Timbalan Ketua Company.
But
Because the Ketua Company is always Malay. I don't understand why. So I can only be the Timbalan. So yeah, I actually agree that PLKN should be reinforced again.
Sadly,
Because
I didn't join at all lah. Sadly, I didn't join PLKN at all.
it's fine lah. It's
I mean,
fine lah.
during my generation, I don't know why that time I couldn't get in lah. But quite a few of my friends.
Actually.
What?
I heard
Too
the
late
government
already,
going to restart the PRKM program soon lah.
I gotta restart.
Yeah. Soon.
Yeah, I actually think they should restart it.
Yeah,
But
let's go. All of us go.
they actually should restart it, but in a way that is more military based. Or
Actually,
because
the peer camp last time is like summer camp, right?
Summer camp, yes.
I only Kawat is marching for twice for my whole
Huh?
3 months. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, last time I inside what is that? Badan beruniform ah.
The
In
uniform club,
school. Yeah, I was in Bulan Sabit, Persatuan Bulan Sabit Merah, the Red
PBSM,
Cross.
the
Red
crescent.
Cross. Yeah, Red Crescent. Yeah, correct. Red Crescent.
Mm-hmm.
And I participate in the kawat kaki or marching because we have every time during sports day we have pattern for marching So I join. It's every day. Every day I
No,
have to do.
I only did twice.
Pierre can do twice. That's surprising to hear.
I
That's too
think,
much. I
yeah,
think
but
they do have to do more practice.
not every camp. My camp is like that. But anyway, I think PR camp should be restarted in a more military way, because it's like we can take Korea and other country which heavily involves in
Singapore,
military as example, because this is a way to actually make Malaysia realize that we should be united in a way to protect our country, or to stand strong with our country.
Yeah.
And
But-
other than that, I also believe we have to know each other's culture, because in PLKN you can know each other's culture, you can exchange your culture. I literally can use hand to eat. I mean, because initially when I was there,
Ini macam pun you must say meh. Eat hand is basic needs only mah.
not everyone can do that. But yeah, it's something if you are not aware of it, or you are not exposed to it, you will never be able to do it. So because initially when I was there, I didn't finish the story. So initially when I was there, all the Malay hates me because I was so talkative, and
Yeah.
I was so talkative, and they'll be like, "What, Cina babi, Cina siao, Cina ni bising lah." Means this Chinese is a pig, this Chinese is stupid, this Chinese is damn dumb, or something like that lah.
I think they didn't think you're talkative. It's more like obnoxious. You.
But anyway, after throughout all this communication, and we have a lot of things that involves heavily in cultural exchange. They slowly get to know me. I mean I even introduced them to tau sapia, which they really like. It's halal lah.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, like you have to just exchange your culture in order to understand each other, which PL can allow us to do that. So I think PL is something should restart, but with a lower budget and more towards military style. So before we go to our conclusion of the day, because it's getting late, let's read the comments. Communist. And there's actually a lot of racist slur. You want to call communist lah.
Yeah. I but actually I never heard before people say. I've seen before, but I've never been called a communist before lah.
In the Facebook
Like
wall
this
section
communist-
lah.
Communist,
Yeah.
more we heard is from the parties, right?
Yeah, it's more like parties compared to the nations lah, right? I mean,
they relate because how to say historically, there's a lot of Chinese last time during
involved in
the
communist lah.
1960 something or 1940 to 1960 something, there is communism in Malaysia and one of the things is that group is quite cruel. The communist group in Malaysia is quite cruel, and they are all Chinese. That's the thing. So I think they are trying to say that, if you're Chinese, you're communist, like that lah.
Mostly mindset communist. Something.
Stereotype lah.
Yeah.
I was in Red Crescent as well, Iklin. Oh, okay. But it's actually good that you went to school with all these activities. You need a uniform, like your uniform club or whatever.
You say like that cannot because majority of people that join never go and participate at all.
No, I mean like you really go and participate, because there's like you get to know each other pretty well, because in class you won't talk with each other. You just study. Sleep.
I think one thing I would like to say, once you join Kawat, right, you think I still this color? You think I this color? I was
No one can
almost
see it
black,
if they are doing podcast.
I was almost black, This is my lightest skin color. I was almost black when I was marching. It was really, really dark.
Okay, anyway.
Sunburn.
Or if you sunburn, you can become Malay also. So
That's the thing.
So anyway, racism is inevitable, right? So in the end of the day, I believe that we actually have to respect each other's respect, not tolerate, to respect each other.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone wants. I think it's safe to assume lah. Everyone wants, no matter the race, no matter the age, no matter the religion, everyone wants harmony, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I think that if ever one day you get racism by the others, I think don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to stand up and speak it out.
Mm.
I think it will create the awareness. If you don't speak it out, you will make it the situation will be worse. Why? If you let's say if you don't speak it out, the person who discriminate you, who do racism to you, they won't know, and maybe they will think like they are right because you
It's
don't
fine,
you don't
Yeah, it's
right?
fine
It's
for it,
fine,
right?
defend for
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
So I think yeah. It's really need to need
You
to
speak it out,
voice
lah.
out. But I think one of the important thing is that make sure that everyone is calm down, relax first, then only mention and say, hey, this is not acceptable, okay?
Yeah.
Everyone please respect each other and we talk
Yeah.
normally.
Even your colleague is Malay, another situation, like your colleague is Malay, then maybe you guys are arguing something, or maybe the food, or maybe the things that are related to the work.
Yes.
Just gathering within the things. Don't like gathering, then suddenly you China blah 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 blah.
You Malay,
As-
blah 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 blah
as-
blah.
Yeah, it's already like exceed the limit already. You are not argue because of the things. You argue the races.
You
together.
argue.
So
You argue
sounds very
because of the skin
childish,
color.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds very
I think-
childish to me.
Yeah, we argue. Yes, we have to target what? Target the roots of the problem, not
Yeah, the
the
roots of the
races.
problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we don't discriminate each other. This is the most important.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually do agree with this. I mean, most of the time when I don't think it only involves races, but most of the time, races is heavily involved where things happen. We always don't seek for the root of a problem. We just target the races. It's like, oh, something like this happened, confirm Chinese. Like this happened, confirm
yeah.
Indian. So which means, I mean, thanks for the sharing, Wan Yang. We really appreciate about all this. And before we go, Happy Malaysian Day, which is 3 more
Happy
days
Malaysia
later.
Day.
Happy Malaysian Day, which is 3 more days later. And thank you for joining us, Wan Yang, for having this wonderful evening. And
Thank you.
before you go, please like our Facebook page, subscribe to our Instagram. Follow our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we have like other podcast link in the comment section below or in our Facebook page or on our post. Please.
We have a lot more planned actually.
We have a
Yes,
lot
one
more
of the things
plans.
is that YouTube also, I mean, if for some people maybe think these type of things are too long, we actually have plans in YouTube to cut it short, make it digestible for all of you, right? 1 minute videos, things that all this type of thing is able for you to consume easier.
So please subscribe to us and share to your friends, and please we have a lot of things in the future, and please share it to your friends. Thank you for watching and have a good night.